The war in Afghanistan was the focus for Defense Secretary Robert Gates at the hearings. Speaking to the Senate Armed Services Committee, Gates left no doubt that as President Obama pushes for a withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq, he's also committed to increasing the U.S. effort in Afghanistan, where Taliban forces and other insurgents have gained strength.
There is little doubt that our greatest military challenge right now is Afghanistan. As you know, the United States has focused more on Central Asia in recent months. President Obama has made it clear that the Afghanistan theater should be our top overseas military priority.
The U.S. and NATO commander in Afghanistan, General David McKiernan, has requested 4 additional U.S. ground combat brigades, plus an air combat unit and thousands of support troops. Secretary Gates gave the committee his view of that request.
Combat. I'm willing to support that. I think it's necessary. But I would be very skeptical of any additional force levels.
Gates said the additional troops should all be deployed this year. He added that the Afghan army needs to be expanded to 134,000, and he said Afghan forces must take a leading role in future Allied security strategy for their country.
Above all, there must be an Afghan face on this war. The Afghan people must believe this is their war and we are there to help them, because if they think we are there for our own purposes, then we will go the way of every other foreign army that has been in Afghanistan.
Regarding insurgents along the border with Pakistan, Gates said there must be better security to prevent terrorists from seeking safe haven there. He defended U.S. airstrikes on insurgents inside Pakistan.
Both President Bush and President Obama have made clear that we will go after al-Qaeda wherever al-Qaeda is, and we will continue to pursue that.
The Secretary said the war in Afghanistan will be a long and difficult fight, but he said with realistic short-term goals, the United States and its allies can restore order and prevent the country from being a base for terrorists. Later in the day, before a committee in the House of Representatives, Gates spoke about upcoming elections in Iraq.
If we make it through those elections, then the prospects, I think, for an enduring domestic peace in Iraq are substantially enhanced. And I think that, and we'll see how these elections go.
3 rounds of local and national elections are planned for later this year in Iraq, along with a referendum on the status of forces agreement with the United States. Al Pessin, VOA News, Washington.
In Pakistan, meanwhile, the first apparent U.S. missile strike since Barack Obama became commander-in-chief. At least 17 people were killed, and the world is getting an early sample of the new administration's war on terror. Let's head over to the Pentagon. Our correspondent Barbara Starr is standing by. What happened, Barbara?
Well, Wolf, the president is now exercising his authority as commander-in-chief, and the world is watching.
Do solemnly swear.
Just as President Barack Obama was sworn in on Tuesday, General David Petraeus was in Pakistan pressing top officials yet again to crack down on militants. The first sign the Obama administration's not going to ease up on the hunt: 2 CIA missile strikes Friday killed more than a dozen people in the tribal region. There have been some 30 strikes like these over the past year. The new president is making clear the deteriorating security situation in Afghanistan and Pakistan will get more attention.
This is the central front in our enduring struggle against terrorism and extremism.
CNN has learned from a top U.S. official the missile attacks are authorized under a covert program which has been briefed to Mr. Obama. The reason for the program's existence? To target and kill senior al-Qaeda and Taliban leaders and keep survivors on the run. Suspects may be tracked for weeks before strikes are called in. Under George Bush, the president did not have to approve each strike beforehand. It's believed Mr. Obama, for now, has the same arrangement, according to U.S. officials. Even during the campaign, candidate Obama made clear he wouldn't hesitate to cross Pakistan's borders.
If we have actionable intelligence about high-value terrorist targets and President Musharraf will not act, we will.
In an interview Friday with Wolf Blitzer, Musharraf, now out of office, said Pakistan doesn't expect the U.S. strikes to stop.
Well, nobody in Pakistan is comfortable with strikes across the border. There is no doubt in that. Public opinion is very much against it.
Now, Wolf, these strikes came one day after President Obama announced some renewed diplomatic initiatives, appointing a new envoy, Ambassador Richard Holbrooke, to the region. But many people in that part of the world still are very opposed to the U.S. missile strikes, and diplomacy may have a long way to go. Wolf?
Barbara, thanks very much.
Okay, so I put the war on this wall. All right. So, okay. Now let's see. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's play the war game. Okay. I'll tell you where the war is. The war is in your mind.